I'm Pam, and welcome to your Psychic Tarot reading for October 2014. This month I laid out another 10 card Celtic Cross tarot spread for you. And in addition to that, at the end of the reading, I've pulled one card from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck by Tony Carmine Salerno, and I will give you the message I received from that card. Well, Scorpio, I'm sorry to say, to start off your October 2014 reading, I really don't like the first card that came up, but I've got to say you have other good cards here, so let's hope we can get this over with quickly and it won't be too painful. The first card you have that comes up in your center of your reading is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords to me is a card that symbolizes being heartbroken, grief, loss. Um, it's a grieving and loss card, but it can also mean if you yourself are not feeling well. That can also come up if there is illness here. I feel like you are feeling a little heartbroken because in some ways I feel like you have the feeling of being gypped out of money that was supposed to be due you or was to be coming to you. They're talking about you going through a cycle right now. Like it's a cycle of, destruction or death and rebirth. It's like ending, beginning, happening. I feel that you're putting closure to the past about many things that have haunted you. I feel you've got a feeling of wanting to release things from your life. Like you want to be done with some things. You just want to be done with it. I feel you've had some ongoing struggles with money too, like some real ups and downs come up here. It's like a zigzag of up and down, up and down. I feel that for many of you, your life has been going through turmoil, especially since last November. So for those of you that are November birthdays, it might have started around the time of your birthday last November, and that's what they're talking about. It's like you've been going under a lot of stress and strain. I feel like in many cases, Scorpio, you've been determined to make some things work, and then you've been shut down. Like things have gotten shut down for whatever reason, and then you like try to make something work again, and then circumstances have either prevented that from happening or and I feel some of you are ending a love relationship from the past, a relationship that maybe that's gone on a long time. However, I do feel that in love, it's about ready to take a turn for the better. So for those of you that are feeling a lot of sadness and loss over a relationship that's gone on a long time, that now is ending or has had to end for whatever reason, I feel like you've got sunny times coming here. So I feel that some of you feel like you've been forgotten or left by the wayside by someone you care about. And they keep repeating the phrase, jump ship and then make a move again. Jump ship and make a move again. I feel like that might have been a pattern that happened in a relationship where, either you jumped ship and ended it or they did, and then you make a move towards it happening again, and then maybe it goes on for a little bit and then jump ship and then it happens again. I feel like there's been some cycle or pattern that's gone here in this relationship. I feel whatever it is, it's a destructive pattern or a destructive relationship in the sense that it's not healthy for you. And I feel that feelings of letting go of it have been so incredibly difficult for you. Like you've really been clinging on to it, like not, I don't know if that's common with Scorpios. You'll have to let me know because I don't know that really, but I wonder if that is a pattern where they tend to like to be tenacious and hold on to a relationship. Maybe it's just this particular relationship and not a Scorpio thing. I'm not sure here, but I'm getting, at least in this case, you haven't wanted to let go of the relationship. And I'm also getting there's been a lot of truth telling and revealing coming out, or has been. You've been really under the pressure and under the gun about this relationship, and that's been going on for a while. It's caused a lot of stress and strain in you. I feel like for some of you, it's causing eating disorders and sleeping disorders. Like the whole circumstance, it's caused like a chemical imbalance in you where you feel like completely out of whack. Again, your whole way of thinking or operating, or how you feel internally, everything. I feel like it's caused like this whole upheaval in you and upset. And it really comes up in some situations for some of you wanting or longing for something that maybe you just can't really fully have. Either it's the person that you want, you just can't have, or you don't want to be with that person, so you want a life outside and away from that person you haven't been able to have. Either way, whichever Scorpio you are, whether you're the one, either way you're being affected. You either want to cling to this relationship and you can't really fully have it, and so there's been stops and starts, and it's emotionally created imbalance in you, or you've been in a relationship you haven't wanted to be in, and you've longed to be free and have a different kind of lifestyle and new partnerships, and that relationship has held you back from it. It just depends on which Scorpio you are, because this is a general reading. I really feel for you, Scorpio, that in March you're really going to be coming into a whole new time. March you'll be in a better place and better situated for love. And you're not going to take anything for granted this time. I get that you're going to make it the way you want it. You're going to have the relationship you want and deserve. I see you determined. The card that you have that crosses over your center card in your reading today, Scorpio, is Six of Swords. And Six of Swords crossing over your center card would be either supporting and an asset to what's affecting you, which came up in the first card, or it would be an obstacle to what's affecting you. And so Six of Swords is a card that usually symbolizes moving from your home to a new home, or it can be job related. It can also be travel. It can be travel too. I feel that for some of you Scorpios, you're finding yourself at a loss of what to do. I feel that for some of you out there, you're going to be taking a trip where you're traveling to like 7 or 8 places. So you're making a lot of stops. I don't know if it's going to be on a plane, or if you are, if you fly to a location and then you get on a tour where you go to 7 or 8 different locations on the tour, or if you're on a cruise and the cruise is going to stop at 7 or 8 different places. But I'm getting you visiting 7 or 8 different locations on a trip. It may be as far out as June for some of you, or around the time of your birthday. If you're a November Scorpio, it might be sometime in November, between the 1st and the 17th. Or if you don't take the trip then, I feel for some of you it will be in May, and some of you it will be in June. Also comes up, some of you that are going in May are going to go away in May, come back, and then go away again in June. So it's coming up. Definitely travel, and that is for sure. I'm just not sure. It depends on which Scorpio you are as to when it takes place. The card that you have that crowns your reading today, dear Scorpio, is Page of Rods. And Page of Rods is in the goal position. Now, Page of Rods it could be one of your children. If you have children, this would be either a fire sign child, either being an Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo. That could be their rising sign, their sun sign, or predominant in their birth chart. If it is not a child, if you do not have children and this is not one of your children, it's a message from your spirit guides. Also, just to let you know about the pages, when a page comes up, they're either male or female. It's not like the king or the queen or the knight. Pages are either one or the other. So let's hear why. I feel that many of you Scorpios out there are taking psychic development classes and studying and learning some occult subjects, or learning to do the tarot, or taking classes on channeling, or it just seems like psychic development all the way around, developing your inner psychic abilities. And I feel that many of you feel truly that you can compete with the best of them because you feel that your psychic abilities are that in tune and strong. That's excellent, because you could really benefit from your own psychic guidance, getting the messages for yourself instead of turning to psychics, or getting them through books or other sources. You can just get them from yourself. And your guides, it's actually coming up more like a spirit guide message, because they want you to be brave about confronting any issues that you have. I feel that some of you have had some people harbor some judgments against you and berated you in the past. And I feel that for some of you, you've really taken some kind of abuse and punishment from others. And it also comes up that you've languished in some love that they've given you, and then I feel like they've yanked it away from you, and that's been painful. For some of you, I feel that you've been talking to people for guidance, and maybe counselors, and getting some professional counseling, and I feel that some of you have actually been communicating with your own spirit guides and getting messages about that. And they're saying, never be afraid to tell the truth of how it is. Always try to be upfront and lay it on the line and tell it like it is. I feel like many of you Scorpios are that way anyway. I feel that you've really taken it on the chin for some others, where you've stepped in front of some other people, maybe even your own children, and protected them, and tried to keep them out of harm's way. And I feel that you have been, for those of you that have children, you've been giving them a lot of advice and talking to them about strategies that they can use and implement in their lives to help them. And you've been talking to them about your own experiences, like telling them they could gain a lot from listening to your guidance and paying attention to the things you've struggled through and gone through in your life. So I feel like you're really going to be, for those of you who have kids or younger people in your life, even nieces or nephews that you care about deeply, I feel like you're really sitting down and, laying some truths out for them, and setting yourself as an example and saying, look at what I went through, and learn from my mistakes or learn from my successes. I feel like you're really giving some young people some guidance, and you're telling them to be true to themselves and not to have fear, and to be brave and bold. You're giving them a lot of support. So that's very kind of you, Scorpio. So I'm glad that you're mentoring and caring for the younger people around you in your life. So that's what came up with that card. In your past position, you have the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is somebody that would be connected to an air sign. She could be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. She would be somebody that is very good with communicating. She's good at problem solving. She's excellent at getting to the truth and the heart of the matter. She's a good problem solver. She has a keen mind and intellect. On the negative side of the Queen, she can sometimes be untruthful and deceptive, and this can cause problems and calamities. Sometimes she causes trouble just because she's so truthful, and she gets to the truth and gets the truth out for people to see and hear and know about. But sometimes she's the negative side of the queen when she's not truthful and she's deceptive, and then that can cause problems. She's somebody who seems to be really watching what you're doing. She knows what you're doing and she's watching you. For some of you, she kind of, the words guilt and harassment come up around her. So, there's a feeling of her wanting to see you pay for any past misdeeds that she's perceiving that you've done. It's kind of like, I feel like she wants to call you out to task and, you know, put you on the mat, call you out to task for some things that she's perceiving that you, things that she didn't like that you did. For some of you, she's been a great friend and a comrade to you at times. And for some of you, she actually has been very loving and loyal. So you got a real mixture of things happening here with this queen. And I feel like she really hasn't liked the way you handled some things, and she'd like to see you make amends. For some of you, she comes up as a friend, as a close friend. For some of you, she's your sister. And it's weird because I feel like it keeps coming up like she's around you a lot, like she's watching over you. So I'm not sure how that's coming about. She's also been giving you a lot of guidance and inspiration. She kind of feels a little responsible for you in some way. And I feel that you have a lot of feelings about her yourself, like you go back and forth about her. You're kind of up and down about her. You definitely have a deep connection with her. I'm not sure, I can't really read whether you like her or you don't like her. And I feel like there's part of you that does want to, like, settle the playing field, like level it off, and feeling like wanting to make things right does come up here. But in some ways, I feel that you also have feelings about her, like she hindered you or held you back in some way. Like almost like you were kind of like in her shadow somehow. I don't know. It depends on what Scorpio you are. Hopefully, because this is a general reading, I hope it makes sense to some of you out there, because that's what's coming up about the Queen of Swords. Now, you have some positive cards here coming, Scorpio. Woohoo! You have, in the position of right now, the energy you're traveling through, you have the Sun. And the Sun is a card that symbolizes to me returning to the joy and exuberance of life you had as a child. And it's also good monetary and material blessings coming to you as well. I feel you're in a time or entering a time in your life that's actually a very special time, because I feel like you're now going to be planning for your future. You're going to be taking credit for your accomplishments, and really, it's your time to shine. I feel that for some of you, you're going to be having a lot of business coming your way. You're generating a lot of business, or, people are recognizing certain talents you have or things about you, and they're starting to come to you now. You're giving a lot of credence and revival to old practices and old ways of doing things. I feel some of you, this is connected to do with spirituality. For any of you that have kind of stepped away from church, especially if you're Catholic, because it's coming up with, especially because I'm seeing like Catholic Church, I'm seeing priests, and I'm seeing, the candles for the novena. I'm seeing like this big, very elaborate church. And I feel like maybe some of you are returning, if you've stepped away from church or your faith, that you're going to be really involved heavily in your church or returning to faith and saying prayers. And if you stepped away from that comes, so the old practice and old ways of doing things, I feel like some of that is attached to church and religious practices. I feel that you are, tuning into a new vibration, a new harmony, a new rhythm for yourself. I feel like you're going through some kind of metamorphosis or change. Like going into a chrysalis and revamping yourself or working on yourself from the inside out. This is spiritually, mentally, emotionally. There's a lot of healing going on. March is really your time of coming out of this chrysalis and spreading your wings. You're going to be enveloping a whole new lifestyle and a whole new change, a whole new way of doing things. You are entering a time where your psychic development in you is incredibly high. I get you're going to be talking about it, taking classes, lectures. Maybe even some of you are going to attend paranormal events like seances, communicating with mediums, trying to communicate with deceased loved ones. You're going to be getting and hearing messages from them and guidance from your loved ones that have crossed over. They're also going to be giving you messages directly themselves, not just through others, not just through mediums. They're also going to be giving you messages in your sleep. You're going to start dreaming about some of your loved ones that have crossed that want to help you out or have things to say. Wow, it comes up again, how much you've been talking to other people, guiding them, helping them. I also see you talking to groups and groups of people, maybe like small groups where you're trying to help them, mentor them through tough times and difficulties. I feel for some of you, you're really taking fashion to a new level, like you're revamping your wardrobe or, changing your look, like maybe changing your hair, maybe wearing wigs or changing the hair color or your hairstyle and really giving thought to your clothes. I'm seeing you wearing like very tailored things. Now, either you wore a lot of tailored things before and now you're changing your ways and adopting different clothes, or you weren't tailored and now you're going to tailored clothing. I'm seeing like tweed suits. Either if you're a female, they're skirt suits. If you're a male, you're changing up your wardrobe somehow or another. Black is a very powerful color for you right now, especially if you're male Scorpio. If you're going to wear black, you're really going to stand out. Black for the male Scorpios is your color right now. For females, tweed, brown tweed or houndstooth, shades of brown houndstooth is actually, I'm seeing like, for females, I'm seeing pencil skirts, tight fitting blazers, brown high heels, sheer stockings. Like, I feel like you're putting on the Ritz at work, like you're really dressing up maybe more than what you used to. You're paying a lot of attention to your clothing and your appearance and your hair and your jewelry. And the guys are doing it up too. It's not just the females. I see the guys even changing their look a little bit, changing their hair a little, changing your cologne, bold ties, like really like striking ties with like black suits, like really things that pop and jump. So that's kind of interesting. That's what comes up with the sun. Now, in your future position, you have the King of Rods. And the King of Rods, to me, is a fire sign male. He would either be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or a Aries. And this would either be his rising sign or his sun sign or predominant in his birth chart. And the King of Rods is somebody that he can worry a lot. He's a good communicator. He's very good at his job. He is highly thought of and respected with his work. On the negative side of the king, he can be prone to stress, worry, aggravation. He could be like, kind of have aggravated outbursts. He can have a little bit of a hot temper. You're going to be communicating and talking with this guy quite a bit. He likes your style. Again, he likes your style. He thinks you have it all going on, this guy. For some of you, you are going to be setting up a partnership with him of love and either getting married or just living arrangement with him. But he comes up as a partner. I feel like, to coin the old phrase, going steady, I feel like you're going to be going steady with him. and then it turns into more. I feel like he's going to be giving you an engagement ring, and also a promissory note of a gift of cash comes up. He will be in getting you will be in getting engaged to him later on next fall. That's what I hear. Now, for some of you, he comes up as he's going to be a compelling partner and give you a lot of instruction. There's going to be a lot of back and forth interplay and exchange of ideas. This is if he's not the romantic partner. Keep in mind, because some of you he is the romantic partner and some of you he isn't. For those of you that he's not a relationship partner, he's a business partnership with him. He's a very excellent communicator. He's involved in, the word videos comes up. So I feel like I don't know in what. I just get videos. He's going to be demonstrating and teaching you, and I'm also getting demonstrations, classes, and lectures. He's a prominent figure in your life, no matter how you cut it, no matter which Scorpio you are. Either way, whether he's not a marriage partner, romantic partner, or he is, you're going to be entering some kind of agreement with him, a partnership. This can happen and start developing anytime between now and July. This month for you really comes up, the month of October, as a time of rebuilding and restructuring and rethinking. You're undergoing change. And to not repeat mistakes you've made in the past. Like to any mistakes you feel that you've made, to just be done with it. You're going to come clean about some things and open up to new vistas. This is a pattern that's going to be happening throughout the rest of this year, moving on into the next. Even into 2016, I see it. It's like you're developing, changing, growing. I'm seeing you spiraling ever upward. I feel like you're going to take everything to the next level. Your job, your career, your love life. Feel for some of you, your permanent residence or the residence where you've been for a while changes. That's only for some of you Scorpios, not across the board. The next card that you have that shows up in your reading today, Scorpio, is in the position of future, but it's also a hope. And you have an excellent card here. I'm so happy for you, Scorpio. You have the Ace of Cups, which is like, ta-da, the Holy Grail, yay. It's divine blessings, all good things coming to you. It can also symbolize a new romantic relationship coming in, because cups do symbolize emotions. I get you're coming into a time period where you feel like this is going to be like one of the greatest times in your life. And it's high time this happened. That's what you're like. It's high time for this to happen for you. It's all about being smartly dressed and how you present yourself. It's something about what you're doing is attracting the right kind of partner and attention to you. Whether it's you're attracting the love partner or the business partner, either way, you are attracting it. For any of you that have been undergoing therapy, I feel like you're beginning to question it, whether it's helped you or whether you want to stop doing it or, whatever. I just get that you're questioning therapy. I feel like many of you are going to be releasing some old patterns and old behaviors. And I feel that, justice is really coming to you. You're going to be breathing a sigh of relief. And finally, you are going to feel like your cup runneth over and that you have what you want in your life. You've been through the mill, you've been going round and round and round about some things in your life. And I'm like seeing you get pulled through a meat grinder. And like you come out, and just when you feel like everything's starting to gel and solidify and be good again, like you get thrown in the meat grinder again and you have to go through it again. I'm seeing a lot of patterns like that for you, like negative, like cycles that have been, really putting you through the ringer. Yeah. And spiritual guidance and therapy is very high in this, even with this card. You're going to come out clean, smelling like a rose, all polished and shiny and new, like a brand new penny. I'm seeing like like you're ready to take on the world, like you're getting like a fire in you, like a passion of like, I'm done with this, I'm done with that, and now I'm ready to, really take the bull by the horns and take control of my life and steer it in a direction that's good for me. That's what I'm seeing you think. I feel that some of you are really going to be talking to quite a few people about changing something about your job or your career. If you're happy with the place that you're working, I see you talking to people that you work with about changing your position, or maybe getting a raise, or, taking on another person's job and your own. So this gives you some kind of, warrant for getting more money, or giving you a new title or a new position within your own job. And I feel you feeling like you're in a strong position to do this now. Maybe you didn't in the past. Maybe you felt uncertain about your job, or a little like uncertain whether you could be bold and, make a request or start, asking for some kind of demand. So like, maybe you felt afraid to do that for some reason, or like unsure how it would be received. But I'm getting, not now, like now coming forward, moving forward, you're going to take the bull by the horn and lay it on the line, because I feel that they have put more things on you than they had in the past. So it's justified. It's justified for you to ask that from them. The next card you have in your reading, Scorpio, for the month of October 2014 is in the position of what family opinion is of you, family opinion and friends, and also their influences. You have the Justice card. Now, the Justice card to me can symbolize court documents and legal papers. This could be also going to court. It could be, a divorce, or it could be, if you're suing somebody or if somebody's suing you. It could just be even dealing with a lawyer, going to a lawyer for legal matters, or dealing with, it can also just be justice. Like, now justice is going to happen. Which way is the balance? Which way is the justice going to go? Is it, because there is, no bias here in the justice. So let's see what exactly this is. I feel like you've had some kind of fear and trepidation and anxiety that's been plaguing you, Scorpio. I feel like there's been a lot of undercurrents of things troubling you. And I feel like this is actually the reason why you've gotten such a big interest in spiritual subjects. And I feel like now it's time to come clean, like, pay the piper, so to speak. Like, tell, speak your truth. Tell what you've been feeling or troubled about, or, things you need to bring forth out into the open. I feel like that's really what this Justice card means. Something seems to get reviewed and brought up for judgment. I feel there are some of you that are going to actually be talking to a lawyer, and they're going to be giving you ideas of how you can strategize. And this takes you to a new level of thinking and helps you get out of any hole that you're in. So I feel for some of you, if you've had financial troubles, this could be a bankruptcy lawyer. And I do feel putting things right, setting the record straight, I do get that happening. And I feel that when you do this, that this is why you're going to be able to breathe a sigh of relief and smell the roses again and enjoy, the fresh air. And I just feel like it brings you out of a time of struggles and darkness. So for some of you, you may be filing for bankruptcy or talking to a lawyer about it and getting some strategies. Maybe you can avoid the bankruptcy. For some of you, I feel you're going through divorce and you're going to be talking to a lawyer about strategizing your, settlement with your ex, and how you can, get more or have more fair of a settlement in your favor. I feel like if there's anything that you've kept hidden or covered up that you didn't want people to know, I feel like you're either going to tell them or come clean through counseling or therapy. Like, I feel like you're releasing things inside of you that helps you. The next card you have in your reading, Scorpio, you have Five of Pentacles. And Five of Pentacles is showing up in the position of a fear. And this is actually, oddly enough, a card of bankruptcy, but it can be emotionally bankrupt as well. This can be fives often signify any five whenever it comes up in the cards is often a sign of loss. It's often a sign of conflict or problems. Um, Fives are always something like that. And so Five of Pentacles is no different than any of the other fives. There's conflict here with five. I feel like you're really going through a change where you're releasing the old and bringing in the new. I feel like, and if there's any of you that have had any problems with skin, like skin rashes or anything, because I'm seeing like I don't know if it's hives or what it is, but I'm seeing it on your body. I don't know. I almost feel like there's really is a cause for this rash of either I don't know if it's an allergy to something you're eating or drinking or taking. I don't know what this is because it comes up more to me like an allergy. You know what? It almost looks to me like eczema or like a bad case of eczema or something. I feel like you need to see a dermatologist. I don't feel like you're treating it properly or it needs attention. So I hope some of you get something for that. Goat's milk soap works really well for that problem, and also calendula cream, which you can buy at a health food store. I happen to have worked with somebody for years that had those problems, and once he discovered those two items, it actually worked, almost got rid of it much better than any doctor's medications he was taking. So if you're having that problem and it looks like you're getting eczema or whatever that is that really can be really severe patches, if you have that coming up, look into that. I'm not saying don't go to your doctor, but I mean, goat's milk soap you can buy at a health food store, and calendula cream you can also. So you could try it and see if it helps you. Your outcome card for your reading today, Scorpio, you have 10 of Rods. And 10 of Rods um, is symbolic of starting, like you're going down a path. The new road that you're traveling on is to a better and brighter future. However, you're carrying the 10 wands of burdens on your shoulder, and you've got a lot of heavy burdens you're carrying. However, on the positive side of the card, um, those burdens actually those wands or rods symbolize knowledge and experience, so that's going to help you on this new journey that you're traveling on. It may feel like a hindrance initially, but in the long run it's an asset and a benefit to you. I feel like you're coming clean, and your life is taking a whole new meaning. I feel like you're really stepping out into the world where you're almost like, take a look at me, like look at me, notice me, consider me. Like I really feel like you're presenting yourself, especially like in a job related sense. I really get that too. Like you want to step up your game. You want to be, making more money, having more recognition, feeling like the old you that you used to feel years and years ago when you felt like you could conquer the world. Like you're going back in time, I feel like, to those kinds of feelings, and you really want to look professional. You're that whole new professional look or new like executive or more professional persona is really on top of you. And getting help from a sister or a sibling really comes up here. And I feel like you're really going to be talking to them a lot and gravitating towards them. You want to feel completeness and connectedness, especially with this sibling. I feel like that tie is really strong right now. And I feel like if you've been going under any kind of psychotherapy or, talking to anybody, counselor, I feel like you're going to change who you're talking to. You're either going to step it up and take more visits, go for more visits, or you're leaving that one completely. I really feel like you're going to change because I don't feel like they were helping you in the right way, or they've done all they can with their ability and knowledge. And now this next person, which I feel you're going to, either you were talking to a woman and now you're going to talk to a man, or it's reversed. But I feel like the next person you're talking to is going to be a man. he's really going to be able to, help you a lot more. And I feel like you're going through some kind of change where I'm hearing the words crisis development. So I'm almost wondering if this person you're going to talk to is going to help you see how to deal with crises better in your life. And I do see you generating a lot more income, and especially the month of May is highlighted. And really, for the theme of your reading is like you stepping up the plate to look better, more professional, and psychic development and spiritual learning, like returning to church or stepping up, learning about spiritual subjects, getting therapy and counseling, changing your counselor, being seen and recognized, being bold, not being afraid to step out anymore at your job and ask for the raise or the promotion. Those are really highlighted. Now, the card I got for you as the additional card, which I pulled from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses cards by Tony Carmine Salerno, you got the Angel of Self-Worth. How interesting. You are currently undervaluing yourself. It is time to regain your self-worth. I can read, I just don't have my glasses on. So let me read that to you one more time. You are currently undervaluing yourself. It is time to regain your self-worth. So here's your card, Angel of Self-Worth. So let me see what I get for you. You've weathered the storms and the tests of time. You can now generate a new life for yourself, and you've come to realize all that power lies within you. You hold the key to your secrets and your success. You are now going to branch out and move forward in several different directions. This takes you to a higher level of learning and education. Be true and honest with yourself always. You truly hear the voices and guidance of others from those who have passed and from your spirit guides, and you do hear it, and they're saying to pay attention to it and listen to it and act on it, and it's going to help you. And I feel that some of you are going to give back to society in some ways of entertainment. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you're going to be giving more parties or gatherings, but I'm seeing you at a lot of social things when they say that, social events. And I hear that you're now putting into place the structures and the parameters which to move forward in. You're restructuring your life. I feel that you're going to be giving a lot back to God, and either donating your time at church, more donations to your church. You're definitely, that's getting stepped up. So, Scorpio, I hope this reading was of help to you for this month of October 2014. I want to say thank you for liking, sharing, and watching my videos. Thank you for Google Plusing. Thank you for subscribing. And I want to say it's been a pleasure to connect with many of you great Scorpios out there with private readings. It's been a real pleasure. And for any of you Scorpios that would like to have a private reading with me, my link for my website is posted below. If you go to my order page, you can schedule your own appointment through the online scheduling calendar there. It is scheduling out into February. I'm sorry, I don't have any appointments any sooner. If I can open up my availability more, I will. But what you see right now is what I have available. If you go back to the order page after you schedule your appointment and make your payment through PayPal, that secures your appointment time and day. I truly hope you have a fantastic month of October, and I wish you many blessings and peace.